Hey everybody, TBC here. As we're gearing up to another year in EverQuest and a new TLP, I wanted to spend some time looking at one of my favourite zones in classic EverQuest. It's a low level dungeon, which really most people have no reason to ever go there, and that's Najena. And it is Najena. I've tried every TTS out there and it always says Najena, not Najena, nothing else. It's Najena, that's how you say it, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Najena.
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 Najena is nestled away in the mountains of Lava Storm, and is populated mostly by some magicians, their necromancer friends, some ogre guards, there's some spiders and goblins that hang out at the back, some undead. There's actually quite a lot of variety of mobs in Najena. And of course there's the biggest danger of the zone, which someone falls in every time without fail, and that's the pit traps. I'm having a nice day dungeon crawling. Oh look, oh a door, let's see. I want to open that door. What the hell? Oh no, I'm in... Oh, there's a tentacle terror on me. Oh no, that's the worst. Frankly, I can kill it. I'm high level. Oh, now and there the ogre's coming for me. Now for the lore of the zone, and I'm not a huge lore hound, but the lore of the zone, it's actually pretty cool, it's pretty decent. Najena, a magician that liked to do experiments, living in Neriak, had some kind of falling out with the king of Neriak, and he was being a little bit hunted, so she thought, you know what, I'm going to make a little hideaway over there in Lava Storm Mountains. No one's going to find me here. I can hang around with all my magician friends, I can worship my crystals, I can chop up dwarves. And you know what, I've got a bunch of ogres that were gifted to me that will walk around the place and guard against people that try and come in. I'll make friends with some goblins as well. And you know what I'll do? I'll put my name above the door. Literally. Everybody knows who lives there. It says Najena right on the doorstep. The narcissism runs deep here in Najena. Real reason to come to Najena, especially on a TLP. It's not a good leveling zone. The pathing's awful. There's a lot of casters. It's real easy to get ganged up on and have huge trains. It has a keying system to even get to the loot, and of course someone will fall in the trap. What you will see is you'll see magicians here trying to get their focus items as part of their epic. Monks do the sash quest and they have to kill one mob here. You have the occasional necro and pally for their quests as well. The necro that needs the FBR, but you know what, you can just buy that in the tunnel. And the pallies are after their Goldblane. So a lot of people, they come to this zone and they come once and they get out of here, and that's a little bit of a shame. Wasn't always the case. Way back in the early days of EverQuest, and I'm talking the real early days, the quest that everyone should do on a TLP, the Journeyman's Boots, well, they weren't a quest that they are today. No, not from Haston. They dropped right here in Najena from Drelsna. There we go, we get that right, Drelsna. People would queue for hours waiting to kill and get the boots, and back then there was no KSing, DPS racing, and that was changed in a very early patch to the Haston quest that we have today. It was the same patch which actually brought in the Temple of Sol Row and the quests just over there in Lava Storm as well. Really enjoyed this zone, and again I think with a lot of EverQuest it really comes back to nostalgia. Back in 2000 I was playing a magician, and coming to Najena was a real rite of passage for any main magician back then. You always felt strong when you come here and you can use those anti-elemental spells that you had, and you felt almost like at home with the other magicians and their pets. Back then of course I was trying to get the shovel, the stein, and as ever back then it took longer. I spent many a night here soloing. I really learnt the zone. I'd help people that got stuck in the jail. I'd go and rescue them. I'd go chill with Najena and give away FBRs and her black tune with those silver runes. Like I said, almost a rite of passage for any magician to come here and get those focus items. And the zone, it does have some interesting rooms. There's a crystal room where several magicians all stand around and protect a green crystal. No idea what they're doing or why. Dwarves yet again get brutalized in this zone, much like every other classic dungeon. I'm really starting to think that EQ devs really didn't like dwarves. You never see a gnome chopped up. It's always just the dwarves. It's not to say that this zone doesn't have problems. It really does. The pathing is really bad, and that was true back then, and it's still true today. And it's especially bad when it's casters, because they stop, they cast, they run around all the show. It can be real frustrating. And of course, the traps, they're still as potent today as they were in early EverQuest. And although we have maps today, and even if you have the maps that have the little yellow marks telling you where the trap is, someone's gonna fall in it. Whether it's you, a box, a group member, not a lot of people come to this zone. And compared to some other zones of this era, this is probably still the only zone where those traps actually matter, because they don't over in Solvo. They don't do anything. Those little crushing blocks and the axes that swing, they're pointless. But here, the actual traps that drop you into the jail, they actually feel like a trap, and you can be very disorientated at first. And I do remember coming here once on an early TLP, probably Ragefire, and I fell into the jail, and there were no guards around, so I gated. So it can really still have an effect, and you're on your playing. And the keying for the zone, especially of this size, is frustrating. Yes, they're not hard to get, these keys, but there's 5 keys. And these keys don't go on your keyring either. So you have to carry them on you. You have to put them on your cursor, and you got to click. You've got to kill the guard or moosh to get the keyring to get out of the jail. The shiny metal key for the first door to Rathel. Now you need a dull bone key for Rathel's cell, and the bloodstain to get to Drelsner, and finally the golden crescent for Najena. It's a lot, and like I said, running around this zone getting the keys, where you're boxing or in a group, someone's gonna fall into the jail. So for me, Najena is really underwhelming, especially when compared to other zones in a very similar level range. And on a TLP, when you could have multiple picks of zones, you level quick, planar armor is quick and accessible, zones like Najena just simply aren't required for the loot. You're gonna skip by the FBR, the Black Tomb with silver runes, etc., because you just don't need it. And I've always compared this zone to Mistmore. It's very similar in terms of maybe design, so to speak. It's got a decent lore story. Mistmore's obviously became way more fleshed out, and it clearly had a lot more love for the zone. It's way better designed, and it has actual loot that's worthwhile getting. On a TLP these days, I can actually go and spend time in Mistmore and level, and I like to chill out with my favourite dark elf vampire person over in the spa, Lasna, for those earrings. So it may be, to me, sad that Najena doesn't really see much play on a TLP, other than those looking to do the quests. But you know what, stop by and say hi to Najena, hidden away in her room. And I guess at the end of the day, she got what she wanted, to escape into obscurity, to carry on her experiments with weird crystals and chopped up dwarves. So, as ever, I'm TBC, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. More videos going to be coming out as we get closer to the launch of the next TLP. I'm excited to see what the rule set will be. Thank you for watching. I am TBC, and I hope, as ever, that you have yourselves a fantastic day.